Welcome to TiEcon Live. It is my pleasure to welcome Kittu. He is a legend in the VC community. He is the general partner of NEA, New Enterprise Associates. Welcome, Kittu.
Thank you, Mateen.
Let's start with your entrepreneurial days. Way back when if you can put back your entrepreneur hat and think, how have things changed for the current crop of entrepreneurs?
I think in terms of the various sectors that are of interest today have probably changed some, because there have been some significant tectonic shifts, if you will. For instance, if you look at in the enterprise area, open source as a phenomenon has changed things. Software as a service has changed things significantly. So I think sectors of interest have probably morphed. Consumer internet has taken off in a big way. Back when I was at Healthion and then subsequently at Neoteris, more importantly at Neoteris, it wasn't a fashionable thing to do advertising-based, revenue-based business models. That's changed, and today there are a lot of companies that have gotten funded that are doing pretty well based on an ad-based business model. So there have been some change, but at a fundamental level, nothing has changed also, which is in terms of what investors look for, nothing has changed, because they look for, what are the macro trends. And so you as an entrepreneur need to figure out and position your company in the following ways. First of all, are there macro trends that are helping you? 2, is there white space that you are addressing? 3, what is the sustainable unfair advantage you have? And technology could just be one way you could establish that sustainable unfair advantage. And 4, what is the composition of the team? What is the chemistry of the team? And what about the team's experience gives your company an unfair advantage? And then finally, go-to-market strategy. How do you plan to get this into market? You could build the world's best technology, but be completely locked out from a distribution point of view. These are some of the things that I think entrepreneurs need to keep in mind when they pitch to VCs, because that's what VCs are looking for.
Having said all that, is there one critical component or a trait that you look into an entrepreneur before you invest?
Yeah, I look for, I think some of the most successful entrepreneurs are inherently bipolar. That is, at one level they are extremely passionate and they evangelize, proselytize their idea. But another level, they are their own worst critics, right? Because they don't drink their own Kool-Aid. They let others drink their Kool-Aid, but they don't drink their own Kool-Aid. And I look for that as to how intellectually honest you are with yourself.
TiE, as we all know, is the biggest enabler in the world now fostering entrepreneurship. And eBazaar has taken a shape of itself. It started 3 years ago as a very small scale. And the whole objective, as you know, is that we prepare entrepreneurs to go to the next level. What was your experience last year? Because you're very involved with eBazaar.
Yeah, I think we as venture guys and I personally as a person of Indian origin, this is in one way my way of giving back to our community here, and hopefully mentor people in the right direction, and kind of tell them what they need to hear as opposed to what they want to hear. But at the same time also see if there are really interesting ideas. It's not altogether altruistic. There's a certain amount of self-serving motivation here also, because there are some really good companies, because at the end of the day, we are always looking for the next, great company.
TiE is a volunteer-driven organization. I've encouraged volunteers to come and contribute and take part in this. The challenge is, we get entrepreneurs who are still in the wishful thinking mode, others who are already prepared to approach. And that's why we have the session that we have today, which is the mentoring session. So to help prepare. And do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think even if you are at the wishful thinking phase, at least I, as now a venture capitalist, I will definitely meet with people or take a call with someone if they have an idea that they want to just bounce off of someone else and get some feedback and get some, it's been my experience as an entrepreneur that what you start with is often not what you end up with, right? And I think some of the best entrepreneurs have that nimbleness of foot and that flexibility. And so, it always helps to bounce things off of, and I'd be happy to, and I'm sure there are other VCs in the area who would be happy to give some of their time.
We are now sort of predicting the slowdown of the economy, and some argue that these are the best times for entrepreneurs to actually
I can vouch for that from my own personal experience. Back we started in the year 2000. We started Neoterrace. All right, Neoterrace started in 2000, and we got funded in 2001. And it was probably sort of the nuclear winter, if you will, if you remember back to those days. But once you're able to raise money, it's probably the best time to build a company, because cash is king at that point of time, and you don't have a whole lot of competition for resources. It's not the same now, even though things aren't that great right now. They're nowhere near as bad as they were back in those days. And but having said that, I do think that when the public markets are not doing that great, it's a great time to actually start a company, a private company.
But raising funds become more challenging, although you are determined and you want to start.
Yes, but I think some of the best venture capitalists will always believe in what's called time diversification. That is, it's not like, any one year has a monopoly on some of the best ideas. Innovation is time diversified. And so I know that we at NEA, during those days of the nuclear winter I talked about, continued investing at a uniform pace, all right? And it paid off in a big way for us, because you have companies like Neoterrace that did well, companies like Data Domain that just went IPO. Those also funded around the same time. It took a little longer than Neoterrace, but hey, look at the outcome there. So I think that if you're onto something really good, you will still get funded.
Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate that very much.